Hey everyone, just got back from my world tour, How to Ruin Christmas for pretty much everyone involved, and man was it great. I mean, the tour, not the talk. Well, the talk was great too, but I might be a bit biased. Anyway, uh, it was great. I started out in Springfield, Missouri at Skepticon, and then I flew to Sydney for the amazing meeting. Then I did 2 talks down in Melbourne, then over to New Zealand to do 3 talks in 3 cities, then back to Sydney to do 1 last talk, and then finally I'm back here in America where it is apparently Christmas and there's snow on the ground. And you know what? I kind of miss the Southern Hemisphere because it's quite chilly here. But anyway, I know that people don't really like seeing their friends' vacation photos, but I wanted to show you some of the things that I did over the past month because I thought it might be educational and just a little bit entertaining. So Sydney was beautiful and sunny, and a listener of the SGU gave us a backstage tour of the Sydney Opera House, which was really wonderful. And the best part about it was that my friend and co-host Jay proposed to his girlfriend Courtney there, and she said yes, of course. So congratulations, Jay and Courtney. After that, I went to the Blue Mountains, where I rode the world's steepest railway, which really felt like it was practically perpendicular, even though it wasn't. I realized, though, that it was only cool because they called it the world's steepest railway. It could just as easily have been the world's shittest roller coaster. In Melbourne, I spoke for the University of Melbourne Skeptical Society and the Victorian Skeptics. And those guys took me to the Healesville Sanctuary, the only place to successfully breed platypuses, or platypi, or whatever. These guys are insanely cute and so fun to watch, but the males have poisonous spurs on their legs, and they'll kick your ass if you get in a fight with one, so don't fight them. Seriously, just don't do it.
Oh, wow.
Graeme and Tina are SGU listeners who run a bed and breakfast just outside Melbourne. They took me on a hike where I saw an echidna in the wild. The echidna is the only monotreme on Earth other than the platypus, which means that it too is an egg-laying mammal. It's named after a half-woman, half-snake creature that gave birth to most of the other monsters in Greek mythology. I'm not sure where they got that name, though, because the Greek echidna sounds terrifying, but all this guy did was sit very still and hope that we would go away. Fact about the echidna that you may not know, the males have 4-headed penises, and during mating they shut down 2 of them and use the other 2 to enter the female's 2-branched vagina. That was probably an echidna fact that you did not want to know, but now you know it and you can't unknow it. During that hike we also saw kangaroos in the wild. In Christchurch, the New Zealand Skeptics took me to see a ring laser, which is tucked away inside a cave. It's basically used to measure the rotation of the Earth. Later on, I'll try to post a whole video explaining what goes on with that. Then we went to see the Martin jetpack, which may be the world's first commercially available jetpack. I actually got to try it on and even play in the simulator, which is using this hacked version of Microsoft Flight Simulator hooked up to the jetpack controls. I successfully flew over Boston and landed on a high-rise without crashing, so I'm pretty sure I'm ready for the real thing. In Wellington, I met a bunch of designers for Weta, which is the workshop that makes props for movies like Lord of the Rings and District 9. Greg Broadmoor is this amazingly talented artist who showed me some of the guns he's designed. And they also gave me a book of theirs that has recently been published showing some of the most incredible sci-fi art you'll ever see. Link to go buy that is in the description thingy. In Auckland, Greg Shearer and the local skeptics took me to a Kiwi sanctuary and then to the Waitomo Caves where we saw glowworms. This was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in my life, and it was made all the better by having Susie Wiles there. She's this researcher who actually works with bioluminescent bacteria, and so she's the perfect person to have along and teach us all about glowworms and glowing in general. One interesting fact she taught me about glowworms was that male glowworms hang out next to the females waiting for them to hatch, and as soon as the females hatch, the males start trying to have sex with her and fighting with each other, and this can go on for 8 or 9 hours. So yeah, 8 or 9 hours of sex. Gotta admire the glowworms. course, glowworms, adult glowworms have no mouths, so after that, they pretty much just die, and then their kids feast on their dead bodies. So I'll end it on that upbeat note. For those of you celebrating Christmas this week, I hope you have a happy one. For those of you not celebrating Christmas at all, I hope that you're able to use your lack of celebration to somehow annoy the shit out of fundamentalist Christians.